Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video we're talking about Nintendo Switch, WonderSwan, Dolphin, ROMs, and more. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off here talking about GameCube and Wii emulation with Dolphin, and Dolphin's getting a brand new feature here you might be interested in. Now this new feature that's currently being worked on, it's not near perfect yet, is called VI Skip, where VI stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano. And if you are experiencing slowdowns in Dolphin, well, this might help smooth things out for you. This feature was implemented in Dolphin Nightly Build version 5.0-18271, and it was partially disabled in the next Nightly Build for Wind Waker and Twilight Princess because it made those games do funky things. Dolphin is currently on Nightly Build 5.0-18293, at least at the time of filming. While this setting is far from perfect, still highly experimental and might break a whole bunch of things, you can play around with it if you want. There's nothing really stopping you. If you pick up the latest Nightly Build, go to Settings, Graphics Settings, Hacks, and then VI Skip, you'll see it right there. Next up, if you've got a whole bunch of ROMs, you need them organized, and you're familiar with CLI, Command Line Interface, and you're actually comfortable with it, then you might be a fan of oxyROMon. oxyROMon just got a brand new release here, version 0.14.0. For those who may not be aware, oxyROMon is a cross-platform opinionated CLI ROM organizer written in Rust. oxyROMon does support CHD format, which a lot of people will probably ask about, and version 0.14.0 adds the ability to sort ROMs in alphabetical subfolders. There is support here for various compression settings for 7-zip, zip, and RVZ. If you are interested in this one, oxyROMon is free, it's open source, it's on GitHub, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Feel free to check it out. And speaking about free and open source, next up we're talking about WonderSwan emulation on Android with WonderDroid Ultra. And WonderDroid Ultra just got a brand new update. It's not huge, but at the same time it's kind of a nice one. You can now sort your ROMs by date added. And there was a crash here previously when the volume was set to 0, and that one has been fixed. And speaking about fixes, next up here we're talking about Amiga emulator WinUAE, and WinUAE just got a brand new update, version 4.10.1, and we've got a whole bunch of fixes. If you haven't guessed it already, WinUAE is a Windows port of UAE, and there's also a new feature here. They've added continuous screenshot mode to the GUI. When ticked, screenshots are taken automatically every single frame. If you like screenshots, you might like that feature. Moving on, and we're still talking about fixes and still talking about Windows, kind of. Also Linux here, N64 emulation with RMG, Rosalie's Mupen GUI, and RMG just got a brand new update. I would argue that version 0.3.0 brings about some really nice fixes. Glide 64 and texture packs appear to have been fixed. The save state slot key bindings on full screen has been fixed. On Linux, read-only ROMs now actually read. RMG is free, it's open source, it's worth checking out, so I'll drop a link to it in the description below. And speaking about free and open source, next up we're talking about RetroBAT, an all-in-one emulation solution for Windows. So version 5.1.0 has just dropped, and it adds in PS Vita support via Vita 3K. On top of that, there's a whole bunch of updates here, including updating PCSX2 to PCSX2 QT. On top of that, they've added in some bezels and shaders here with reshade, and there's controller auto configuration for Dolphin, Yuzu, Ryujinx, RPCS3 Supermodel, Citra, and PCSX2. If you like emulation but you don't like downloading, tinkering around, or setting up emulators, RetroBAT might take some of that work out for you. It's free, it's open source, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Moving on now, and we're talking about something without any emulators, and that is Reset Collection. Reset Collection is an emulation front end. It basically organizes your ROMs and emulators and makes everything look all nice and pretty. And Reset Collection on Android here just got a brand new update. In version 1.1.25, Reset Collection now comes packaged with unique reset boot videos and background music. And on top of that, you can add your own MP4 files as a boot video and MP3 files for background music. And in addition to that, they've got some bug fixes here. They've added in Citra Antutu emulator and Citra Enhanced. And last up here, we're still talking about Android, but we're switching over to Nintendo Switch emulation with Skyline. And Skyline just got a brand new update, the free open source mainline build of Skyline. So if you head to skyline-emu.1 and click on download, the latest version at the time of filming is version 1793. This is the Smash Brothers update. Yes, you can now boot Smash Brothers in the free mainline build of Skyline. Now, obviously, it's not perfect and it will vary from device to device here. Someone has it up and running at over 100 frames a second when the frame limiting is turned off. And it also appears they've got Fire Emblem Engage up and running here at 60 frames per second, which is absolutely incredible. On top of that, somebody with a MediaTek Helio P60 has Persona 4 Arena Ultimax up and running. It's not full speed, but it's looking really good, and this is huge progress for MediaTek. Now, it is worth pointing out that Skyline performance will vary from device to device here. It's not uniform across everything. Your experience may vary, but at the same time, if you're into Switch emulation on Android and you're using Skyline, you might want to check out the latest build. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a ton today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.